While you were sleeping last night, Beyonce was busy. She dropped a brand new album. That's right, fans woke up this morning to some great news for Friday the 13th. And joining us now to tell us more about this secret release is HuffPost senior editor, Kia Makarechi. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Beyonce, secret release. Did anyone know this was coming? Is everyone going crazy?
There had been a few whispers, but everyone is definitely going crazy. Nobody knew what day or when or how it would be released, which is really a stunning accomplishment because every album gets leaked now. This one, they seem to have avoided the leak by not printing any physical copies until the music was already out in iTunes. So it's
and like you said, people are going crazy. I have a tweet here from @Mark2Cold who says, "I need room for Beyonce's new album." And the photo is he's deleting the Bible so that he can make room for the Beyonce's new album.
The Beyonce fandom, the Beehive as they call them, is definitely serious about this and about everything she does. But it's really a stunning accomplishment for an artist that big to be able to keep something under wraps, especially because there's like 17 videos, I think.
And people like us who try to dig to get all of that in. Beyonce said in a press release, quote, "There's so much that gets between the music, the artist, and the fans. I felt like I didn't want anybody to give the message when my record is coming out. I just want this to come out when it's ready and from me to my fans."
I think that it's like, you know, to some extent anything that comes from a press release is sometimes we can say, oh, it's like a little corporate or it's not very sincere. But I will say that I was on the phone around midnight with somebody from Beyonce's camp last night and they were just screaming with joy. I think that they really felt like they gave the fans something special, and we'll see. I mean, people, of course, stayed up late to listen to every song and watch every video. I wasn't able to do that, but I think that the response has been pretty good so far.
You mentioned earlier that there's like 6 or 7 videos that are going along with this already. It's very, very visual. When we saw Beyonce, I think maybe last week, she came out of a studio with one of those hats on that only showed her eyes. Do you think she was working on the album there? Did you want us to get a hint of what she was doing?
I don't know if she was last week. That would be close, but I wouldn't be shocked. There's actually a video for every single song and a few additionals as well. We saw her in Coney Island.
Full videos?
Yeah. So the idea is you could either listen to the album, you know, on your iPod or whatever, or you could just watch every single song. And Jay-Z is featured in the videos, Drake, all the featured guests are there.
So let's click on Beyonce.com, which is where everything is, just to see what happens when you click there. Let's see if we can do it. There it is. So this is just one of the many, many, many videos. How long do you think this took her to do?
Yeah, so
a while?
So we were told that it took the recording for the album and the videos took 1.5 years, and they started at a retreat in the Hamptons in the summer of 2012, which makes sense, I guess. And she had a lot of collaborators there. They got together, but she's been recording. There's been a few that were spotted, like she did a shoot at Coney Island that was a little too obvious just because you're at Coney Island, but really, it's an impressive effort.
Nathan's hot dog.
Exactly, and she was also touring the world at this time. Obviously, you know, raising her young daughter, Blue Ivy, who's also featured on the album and in a video. So. Of
course she is, baby Blue. That's who I want to be when we grow up. We can click on Beyonce.com one more time just to see sort of what happens as soon as you click. Look at that. It is a visual album. How many people do you think they had to make sign non-disclosure agreements? This is a lot of staff, a lot of work, and for this not to have leaked, are you shocked that it hasn't leaked?
I'm incredibly shocked, and not to be flippant about this, but somebody tweeted, how many people do you think had to die in order for it to remain a secret? So, I mean, these people work with people they trust. It's really a testament to their networking that they can find that many people they trust, because as you said, it's a mammoth effort, really.
And there was a lot of collaborations on this visual album, too. Who did she collab with? Obviously, I'm guessing Jay-Z.
Yeah, for songs-wise, there's Jay-Z, there's Drake, there's Frank Ocean, Blue Ivy, a bunch of other artists. Video-wise, she collaborated with Terry Richardson, who is always, you know, one of the buzzy...
Controversial.
One of the controversial, buzzy ones. One of her favorites, Hype Williams, Jake Nava, a bunch of other, you know, directors. Ed Burke, who did her documentary as well, so...
All right, Kia, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy
guess y'all have to check back in with you after you've stayed up all night and listened to all the songs and watched every single video there.
I think so. We'll be back.
Thanks so much.